Here's the 2004 Honda Element. I've always wondered what these things were like in the inside. When I was in high school, these things came out in 2001. I guess I was in middle school technically, but I remember seeing it for the first time when I was in high school, and I just thought it was the coolest looking thing. The style is still very polarizing. There's nothing really on the road that looks anything like it. In 2011, they discontinued this car because the last 3 years that they produced it was outsold by the very first year that they produced it. So in 2001, they sold over 60,000 units, and in 2011, they sold 14,000 units. So the reason for that, I'm not quite sure. I think that the design, they didn't update the car in 10 years, and I think that may have had something to do with it. And it only could seat 4 people, so that limited its versatility. But if you're just like a single person with maybe one kid and one girlfriend or a spouse or boyfriend for that matter, I don't know, whatever your situation is, if there's only 2 or 3 of you, this car would be plenty big enough. It has a 4-cylinder, about 160 horsepower. This particular model has over 100,000 miles, about 105,000 miles. This paint job I love. It says this car's been beat up pretty good, as you can see on this hood. Let's see if you guys can see all those scratches here. There's quite a few scratches. This owner did put aftermarket wheels on it. They don't look that good. I would have picked something else. But they definitely don't look like the stock wheels by any means. They're probably 18-inch wheels. On the inside, okay, there's also a cool roof rack. Now that's Honda factory installed. So, you could put like a, depends on where you live, a surfboard, a paddleboard, a canoe, whatever. Bicycles you could put up there. Please don't put a child seat up there. On the inside, so this car, it's old. I mean, it's an 04. It feels a little cheap on the inside, but this is more of a budget vehicle. The first thing you're going to notice when you come in is the cavernous area. Like it's very spacey. There's tons of room above my head. It's very boxy. The door here, it's all plastic, no surprise. This isn't an RX 350 over there. Typical window. No, you can't even roll down the back window from here. The back window is only by latch. Electric mirrors, that's nice. The dash here, you're gonna have your tachometer on the left, speedometer in the middle, and on the right is going to be your gear selection, your fuel, and then the heat of the engine, temperature gauge. Not a lot of options here. So there's no option to turn on cruise control. It's strangely down here underneath the dash, as well as your fog light option. There's a little coin tray here. Pretty basic stereo. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything in here kind of matches. Everything's plastic, so there's nothing wrong with that. The gear shifters here. You do have an overdrive canceling feature. I do like this big floor mat in here. It covers the entire front cabin, so it's big and sprawling. This up here, I've never seen anything like this up above. So there's a honeycomb mesh here that is see-through, and that opens up, and you can put all sorts of stuff. You can see my hand, it's see-through. You can put all sorts of things up there. No mirror. That is strange. It's a huge, this is funny. So this thing's huge. Look how long the insert is, and it's about ready to fall off, as you can see. But look how huge. It doesn't even cover the entire window. That is a poor design by Honda, I have to say right there. That's poorly designed. Over here, I'm actually surprised for an 04 you had an auxiliary input and a 12 volt as well. Here is the glove box, and it's pretty small. Everything else in this vehicle is pretty big, so You do have a nice magazine holder on both of the front doors. But that's about it up front. Just kidding. So we do have an e-brake down here. We do have a speaker up here as well. This is the weirdest thing. This is your armrest slash center console. Now you do have cup holders down here in the middle. This folds down. Can you hear that? It's very noisy and squeaky, so it's like I would rather not even use it at all. A decent amount of space given for how big it is. And there you go. There's the armrest. So let's get in the back. To get in the back, this is like a half door. It's not a full door. And I always thought that this was the handle, not knowing this car. The handle is actually in here. That's going to open up the back. On the door, pretty simple. It's a small door, as you can see. It's more of like a 3/4 size door. Here's that latch I was talking about to open up the window. Not really a lot of, ventilation going on there. Speaker on the door, drink holder down here. Nothing special. It is adjustable. I'll give it that. It is adjustable. So this owner had a dog. There's all sorts of scratches and scuffs. So that's the one thing about oh man, look at down here. So this paint just got destroyed by this puppy dog. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind always when you're buying any car. Oh my goodness. So this is the most room I've had in the back seat in recent memory. This is an interesting bungee here. While the other side has a map pocket, like a magazine pocket as well. Again, huge mat on the floor. That just makes it so easy to clean. You only have 2 mats. Well, maybe the cargo mat as well, but this is weird. There's a little pocket down here, but that's a strange design choice. Tons of, here, let's close the door. I can't stress how much room there is. This is one of the strangest things about this vehicle. Okay, this is a quirky vehicle. It's a Honda Element. I mean, they stick out like a sore thumb on the road. But this is the strangest thing about this car. Okay, this is the front of the car. There's nothing. And then this is over the back rear seat and cargo area. It's so strange that there's a moonroof slash sunroof up here. Let's open it. Okay, so this is only a sunroof because a moonroof would open all the way up. So this is only a ventable roof. I don't think it opens up anymore. I think that's it. I don't know what this looks like. It's pullable, but I don't want to mess with that. It's only a sunroof. Can it be covered? It can't. There's not even an option to cover it up. So very strange. It's always open. It's always open. Very strange. Back here you have your hooks if you were to put a car seat in, or for child seat. And then we'll get in the back here. Okay, so the back has this cool spoiler. You're gonna open up the back here. It does have a shock on it to keep it up. The hood does not have a shock on it. There's nothing really to see in there anyways. So we actually have a tailgate here. So use this latch and you guys have a tailgate like a truck. So you can sit on the tailgate here. It's very comfortable. So this would be just a cool car to bring to the beach or the lake or a sporting event if you're going to a soccer game. I really like this vehicle. I think because the rear seats don't allow, and I'll show that again because I didn't really mention that. Now, there's more storage pockets back here. There's also a 12 volt. But anyways, as well as speakers, more speakers down there. So what's strange about this vehicle, oh, hey guys, I'm getting distracted. There's a spare tire under here. And look, a bungee cord on the back of this seat. It's just so odd. So many things about this car. Look how big these rear windows are and people can't even look out of them. It's just, everything about this car is just strange. All right. But I think one of the big reasons this car died, it got discontinued. not because of the reliability, Honda has pretty good reliability, as you guys know, is that these seats, although removable, there's only an option for 2 seats here. You only have 2 seats. And so I feel like, you know, that kind of, they kind of shot themselves in the foot by only making it a 4-seat vehicle. It has so much room. It has so much room, yet it's not really usable for, you know, your a family more of 4 people. I would say this vehicle is awesome for, and look how cool that is. There's no, let me focus. There's no, I don't know what you call that, a B pillar. There's no B pillar. And so if I were to open the car straight from both ends, like, it's so easy to see through it. It's just a ton of space. But I feel like it's a chance missed to, you know, have ultimate flexibility with this vehicle without a 5th seat, or the option of a 3rd row seat, because like I said, there's so much freaking space between this seat and this seat that they probably could have put a really small 3rd row back there, and I feel like that would have knocked it out of the park as well with a little styling update, but they never did either of those things. So it was a cool idea to make this car, but they didn't innovate it enough over time to save it from discontinuation. Okay, so I actually get to drive this Honda Element. Ironically, they ran out of guys to drive cars around, so they needed me to drive this to a mechanic, a private mechanic, third-party mechanic, so he can inspect it. Steering's actually tighter than I thought it was going to be. I'm not out of the parking lot yet, and it's a little bit heavier, a little bit tighter than I thought it was going to be. All right. Some suspension noise. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. Probably not. This does have 105,000 miles on it. Not quite sure if the struts have ever been changed on it. A little soft in the turn, but what do you expect? This thing's really tall, really boxy. It's just not a lot of feedback, as you would expect, but this is not a sports car by any means. Okay, we're gonna get on the freeway here. This thing dives into the corner like a barge. Let's see if I can keep up with this Toyota Sienna. It's a newer model of that Sienna. Yeah, this thing is, I don't say this often, but this thing is underpowered. So that could be also a reason why this thing became extinct. You know, I don't have enough knowledge. They didn't put a V6 in here to my knowledge. They just kept it at 160 horsepower inline 4. And I don't know how heavy this vehicle is. I have to put it in the description below. But there's just no torque, and there's no, even when I have to rev it up to like 4,000 just to keep up with this Toyota minivan. There's some interesting road noise I've never heard before. Some tire noise, I think. That could just be the tire. It could be the wheel. The wheel could be noisy. Now I'm just trying to pick this car apart, and things stick out of me because I drive brand new Lexuses every day. So when I get in a car, it's really easy for me to pick out its flaws. What this car is good at, it's good for lots of space. It has a tailgate. AC works. It's going to be reliable for the most part. From my understanding, it's a Honda, you know, as long as you take care of the maintenance, it's going to last forever. 0 to 60 in this car is probably like 9 or 10 seconds. Again, I'll have to look that up, but this is the most underpowered car I've driven in a long time. Just going over the road, there is a lot of road noise, and this car is mostly plastic, so there's quite a bit of road noise. I'll try to be quiet so you guys can just listen to the car. I'm gonna turn the AC fans off. You know, that might be the belt making that noise. I hope you guys can hear that noise going on. So that is the most profound noise I hear in this car. How about the brakes? They're pretty lifeless, but they work. They stop the car. Yeah, you can just hear a lot of road noise. I went over some patched potholes there. Not even real potholes. Well, former potholes, I should say. And yeah, there's a lot of noise. So it's, you know, that's going to happen in, of course, an older car, but one that's made, the interior is mainly made out of, you know, plastic. To finish up this review, I'm getting to my destination here quickly. The Honda Element, it died because of a lack of refinement, a lack of excitement. There's nothing in this vehicle that excites me other than maybe the space. But even then, you can only have 4 people at the most. It's underpowered, but it does have a cool look to it if you're into it. Some people freaking hate it. So let me know what your thoughts are of this car below. And I'm happy that I got to drive it, so I know exactly what it's like.